I said something that irritated the shit out of Kobe fans, even though I'm a Kobe fan, right? I said something that irritated, but that is a metrics. When I said 3 of his championships, he was a sidekick. And everybody's like, oh, he was never a sidekick. He was only 21, 22, and 23. Those championships. Shaq was the dominant force.
Gilbert Arenas just set the NBA on fire with a take that had jaws dropping. The former All-Star went on his show and straight up labeled Kobe Bryant a sidekick to Shaquille O'Neal during the Lakers' first 3 championships. That wasn't a throwaway comment. It was a direct hit on the Black Mamba's legacy.
Every Superman won when they got the perfect partner. When they got the perfect partner, that's when they won.
The backlash came fast and fierce. Teammates, fans, analysts, everybody jumped in to defend Kobe. But Arenas, he's not backing down. In fact, he's doubling down, making this debate louder by the day. I said something that irritated the SAT out of Kobe fans, even though I'm a Kobe fan, Arenas admitted on Gil's Arena. When I said 3 of his championships, he was the sidekick. Everyone's like, he was never a sidekick.
He was only 21, 22, and 23. Those championships. Shaq was the dominant force.
He was only 21, 22, and 23. Those championships, Shaq was the dominant force. And he didn't stop there. Arenas kept pressing, saying Kobe was treated like a sidekick, a Robin, or the next Scottie Pippen, instead of being recognized as a 3-time champ. That Scottie Pippen comparison. That's where things got nasty, because fans weren't having it.
And it's like, Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen. No, if he scored 28 points and Jordan scored 30, we still know who's number 1 and number 2. We still know who's doing the heavy lift.
The former Wizards star is basically claiming Kobe's first 3 rings don't weigh the same, since he wasn't the number 1. One option. But here's where that logic crumbles. Since when does age erase championship contributions? Look at the facts. In the 2000 finals against Indiana, when Shaq got hurt, who stepped up? Kobe. He averaged 25 points a game and carried the squad when it mattered most.
But we know who Robin is in this instance, right? So his 5 rings is still Robin rings.
That's the opinion.
But I know,
that's the opinion.
I'm about to say, yeah.
In the 2001 playoffs, he was flat out monstrous. 29.4 points, 7.3 rebounds, 6.1 assists. Those aren't sidekick numbers. Those are superstar numbers, yet Arenas skips right past that part. Fast forward to the 2002 Western Conference Finals versus Sacramento.
The opening shot. And here is Kobe Bryant. And there is the first field goal.
Kobe was untouchable, putting up over 26 points per game in a grueling 7-game war. Sidekicks don't take over series like that. That's lead dog energy. And then Arenas tosses in another wild angle, saying the sidekick tag was cooked up by the media to protect Michael Jordan's legacy from Kobe's rise. But here's the contradiction. If it was fake media sabotage, why repeat it now?
Bryant able to beat him off the dribble. Henry Chuckle.
That's the play of the game defensively. Kobe Bryant, all-league defense, comes in from behind.
Plenty of people who were actually there have shot this down. Ron Harper, who played with both Kobe and Shaq, flat out rejected the sidekick narrative. Harper saw it firsthand, and his words carry way more weight than some outside opinion.
In Los Angeles, Kobe up against Wade. They clear it out to go past Wade. The follow-away, all even.
If guys who were in that locker room say Kobe wasn't a sidekick, that should end the conversation right there. Fans are flaming Arenas left and right. One called him out, saying, "No surprise when losers talk, they try to bring down winners." Another blasted him for disrespecting Kobe more and more as time passes. You wanted to be that guy, bro. It's cool. The reaction has been relentless, and people are pointing out the irony.
If you were a superhero, what would you be? Who would you be?
Batman.
So then is Pal your Robin?
No, Pal else.
A man with 0 rings critiquing how Kobe earned 5. Bottom line, Kobe's name is untouchable in NBA history, and Gilbert Arenas just painted a target on his own back by trying to drag it down. That Scottie Pippen comparison cut deep because it straight up implied Kobe was never the main guy in his prime. And once family steps in,
it's a piece to my boy Kobe, man. He probably as closer as anyone else to ever gonna be competing with MJ. He was a very complete had to tell he pattern his game, walk and talk like MJ and be like MJ.
You know the line's been crossed. Vanessa Bryant, who almost never claps back at critics, spoke up. And that alone shows just how much this disrespect stung. Add in Matt Barnes, who not only played against Kobe, but also battled with countless legends. And the defense of Kobe's legacy just got way stronger. Arenas tried to back up his claim.
My opinion is Mike and then it's Kobe.
Who do you think is like similar to Kobe now?
Nobody, stop it.
Well, I mean, like you got Kyrie and Devin Booker.
By dragging Dwyane Wade into the mix, using Wade's 2006 run as proof of a young star carrying a team. But let's be real, Wade was 24, not 21 like Kobe was in those early rings. Completely different situation, completely different roster. If anything, Wade's example just highlights how rare it was for Kobe to dominate the way he did at an even younger age.
People don't know this, but one of the reasons my husband played through injuries and pain was because he said he remembered being a little kid sitting in the nosebleeds with his dad to watch his favorite player play. I remember asking him why he couldn't just sit a game out because he was hurting. He said,
Doesn't matter if I'm sick. It doesn't matter if I have a sprained ankle. The kid that's sitting in there might be the next me sitting up there, watching and trying to get inspiration from that. I need to go out there and play.
Kobe didn't want to disappoint his fans, especially the ones in the 300 sections that saved up to watch him play. He never forgot about his fans. If he could help it, he would play every minute of every game. He loved you all so much.
Then Arenas switched lanes, saying, "You are not winning without a perfect number two." Okay, that's true. Championship squads always need multiple stars. But here's the trick. A perfect number two is still a superstar. They're not some sidekick tagging along. Arenas himself admits Pau Gasol was Kobe's perfect partner when they went back-to-back later on. So how can Pau be a perfect number two, but Kobe can't be Shaq's without getting downgraded? That's straight contradiction, and this is where Arenas completely folds under his own logic.
Said he had Kobe at 2, and Stephen A. challenged that. What makes Kobe special in player's mind, in a player's mind himself? We don't go by your stats. We don't go by the accolades. We go by how the person played, what was his attributes, right? So when you think about the greatest players of all time, 90, 80% of them have God gift, natural talent, ability, body. Jordan, 48-inch vertical. You got the big hand. You got LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic 6'9" point guard with vision. Kobe, standard. If I give you every 6'6" guard in the NBA and NBA history, you would never find him. You would never find Kobe because he didn't have big hands. He wasn't quick. He wasn't fast. 38-inch vertical, that's standard. And what he did with that body, it's like you took a S500 and he was pushing it like a Bugatti. That's what we look at. We look at the normal person fighting God.
He calls himself a Kobe fan, but every word out his mouth chips away at Kobe's accomplishments. He says the sidekick tag was media manipulation to protect Jordan, but then he turns around and spreads that same narrative himself. The irony is wild, blasting social media for delusion while cooking up delusional takes of his own. This whole saga is part of a bigger, uglier pattern. Former players trying to chip away at Kobe's greatness.
Gasol is at the center position. Nice pick and roll between. Third rebound tonight. Playing with the sore throat, which has been a story here in Los Angeles. Yao now watches Bryant. Yao comes out on Gasol.
Tracy McGrady once claimed he was just as good, but didn't get the same chances. And now Arenas is comparing Kobe to Scottie Pippen. Why is it always the ones without the rings or the finals moments trying to rewrite history? Let's be honest, these aren't real basketball breakdowns, these are ego trips. Arenas had insane scoring nights, but 0 championships. He couldn't build his own legendary story, so now the move is tearing down someone who did. That's envy in plain sight, and the timing makes it sting even worse. Kobe's not here to clap back, to shut this down himself. That's what makes these attacks feel not just wrong, but cowardly.
Grady says he has never won an NBA championship because he's never been in a situation that was built to win an NBA championship. He also said if he switched places with Kobe and was paired up with Shaq, he would definitely be an NBA champion.
The bottom line that Arenas refuses to see is clear. Kobe was never anybody's sidekick. He was the storm that changed the whole game. Championships have never been about one man. They're about squads built to win. Jordan had Pippen, Magic had Kareem, Bird had McHale and Parrish, LeBron had Wade and Bosh, then Kyrie and Love.
Leave you with one of my husband's amazing quotes. Leave the game better than you found it. And when it comes time for you to leave a legend. And that he did.
So why is it that Kobe having Shaq suddenly gets twisted into a knock on his legacy? That's not weakness, that's basketball. The way Arenas frames it makes it sound like he doesn't even understand team sports. But here's the thing, his comments don't damage Kobe's legacy one bit. What they do destroy is Arenas' credibility as someone who's supposed to analyze the game. How can you break down championships when you never even sniffed one yourself? Kobe's resume speaks louder than any podcast hot take.
Work with Shaquille because I understood that this was a big kid. He was a wonderful, joyful kid. He was only 27 years old. And you had Kobe, who was just focused on being better than Michael and quiet and introverted. Sort of like you when you don't say much.
5 rings, 18. All-Star nods, 2 Finals MVPs, 1 regular season MVP, and more iconic clutch moments than you can count. That's certified greatness. Meanwhile, Arenas is out here proving he's more interested in stirring the pot than speaking truth. This is the bigger issue. Today's sports culture thrives on revisionist history. Social media and podcasts reward shock value, not real analysis. And Arenas, he's feeding right into that, chasing clicks by throwing dirt on Kobe's name. The sad part is, younger fans who don't know the full story might actually buy into these twisted takes. But look at the response. The basketball world hasn't just disagreed, they've roasted Arenas for this. Former teammates, coaches, and insiders all pushing back hard. Phil Jackson himself, the man who coached both Kobe and Shaq, has always praised them as equal forces in those rings. Even Shaq has publicly defended Kobe's role multiple times. If the main guy doesn't call Kobe a sidekick, then what does that tell you? At the end of the day, Arenas' so-called analysis is just noise, revisionist history dressed up as controversy. The facts don't back him, the people who lived it don't back him, and his own contradictions expose how shaky his stance really is. Kobe Bryant was never anyone's sidekick. He was a star from 21, a champion alongside another champion, and eventually the fearless leader of his own dynasty runs. Gilbert's comments reveal more about his own frustrations than anything about Kobe. When you've never tasted championship success, it's easy to downplay how others got there. But the Mamba's legacy? It's untouchable. 5 rings, unmatched work ethic, and respect from everyone who went to war against him. That's what lives forever. So what do you think? Is Arenas bringing valid points, or is this just another ex-player desperate to stay relevant? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one.